even fixed about the betting cycle. And it'll be morning show format. If you're familiar with our morning or weekend show, this is how we roll it. And we'll cover every game. And of course, it's a limited card as we've just started at Philly and Arizona just went off right now. And we got with us today, Big Al. Big Al, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good, Tony. How are you enjoying Vegas?
Enjoying it. And we had a little discussion about Bet Bash. Really like it. Enjoying it out here. Having out here with these guys. All right. Millz, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh, just enjoying these Olympics, man, getting that sweat off, man, hopping in live, thinking that Serbia was going to win. Man, I know a lot of people that took USA minus 3.5 and cashed.
Yep. That was a back and forth game. U.S. down double digits in the first half. It looks like U.S. and France in the gold medal game. Yeah, France at home court. They got past Germany, so we'll see how that one rolls. But we got baseball and some preseason football. So we'll go ahead and get started. The Reds Marlins has just begun, so we'll just get started here at 6:40 Eastern. We'll start with two at a time here. Phillies and D-backs, Angels and Yankees. Over to Big Al.
Well, Colby Allard is one of those guys who I absolutely will not bet on. He's on my do not bet list.
Oh, you have one.
I do, and he's on it.
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few guys. I'm just, he's made 39 starts in his career, 71 appearances overall, including, relief appearance. But his career ERA is a horrible 6.05. And I know that Jordan Montgomery's ERA is also north of 6 runs a game this season. But in his one start versus the Phillies earlier this year, he gave up 2 runs over 6 innings in a 5-4 Diamondbacks win. So I'm going to take Arizona in that matchup. Did you say there was another game? Because my memory's bad.
Yeah, mine as well. We had the Angels and Yankees.
Angels, Yankees. Oh, yeah, that's Nestor Cortez's game. Nestor Cortez, another guy who's not in good form. He's got an 8.68 ERA over his last 4 starts with a 1.87 whip. And I know his home ERA has been really good this year at 2.48, but I still don't really have much confidence in Cortez right now. So I think the best bet in this game is probably the Angels on the run line at +1.5 runs at -105.
There you go. There from Big Al McMordie. Let's go over to Millz.
Yeah, man. So we on the same games, right? The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, same
Yankees
game.
and the Angels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I know. It's hard to get behind any of these teams right now that's playing and feel confident with them. Just coming off the Yankees game, they had number 1 place. That was yesterday before coming off the doubleheader. I don't think that they're going to be able to cover that run line in here. Nestor Cortez hasn't been looking good. Just same thing, that Big Al resemblance. But in here, I got to say, man, the under, I think, is the best bet in the Yankee game. I would lean that way in there. The Phillies game, Bryce Harper, that guy hasn't been showing up as of late. Trey Turner, he's been showing up. Kyle Schwarber, is he going to be able to repeat what he did last game out, going for 3 home runs? I actually think the Phillies still have enough just to get it done in there. Just going off of how they were playing about a month and a half ago, them and the Yankees was 2 of the best baseball teams out there. I think this is a game that they should be able to turn it around, and the price tag ain't that bad on the Phillies in that one.
All right, that's from Millz. All right, we'll go over to me here with these games again. Yesterday I came on with the Angels in game 2. I'm going to come back again here in this one here. They get another $2 price here with the Angels here over the past 10 games. The bullpen's performing well here for the Angels. They do hit lefties fairly good. The Yankees don't. LA has won 4 or 5 on the road, and they are returning a profit this year as a road dog. So we'll look here at the Angels here in that one. Apologies, I got a little out of turn there with the game, just the later game with the Phillies, but I will be looking at the over in that Phillies and the Diamondbacks game. It's 10 for a reason, guys, because both Allard, it's amazing that he's still in major leagues. And boy, he is, if you look at his line every year in the majors, it's been pretty ugly. Really, really ugly in his career. So, and of course, Jordan Montgomery, since coming over to Arizona, has had his struggles as well. Arizona's bullpen is a concern here because they're as well ERA over at that over in that spot. All right, we'll continue here on the drive-through as we get ready here for the next series of games, and we'll get back to our better time slots here. We won't screw it up again this time. All right, this one will be Orioles and Blue Jays, Rays and Cardinals. So I'll start with Big Al.
Well, Dean Kramer, he's been much better on the road than at home this season. When he's pitched away from Camden Yards, he has a 3.53 ERA with a 1.03 whip, so that's really good. compared to what he's done in Baltimore at home. He's got a 5.40 ERA with a 1.50 whip. So I like Baltimore on the road here against Toronto. And then probably my favorite baseball play today. It wasn't good enough to make the premium card, but it's probably my favorite baseball game. Since I passed in baseball with the premium clients today, but I like Tampa Bay as an underdog here. If you take a look at what Shane Baz has done over his last 3 starts, he's allowed just 4 earned runs over 14 2/3 innings for an ERA of 2.45. So I think as an underdog, Tampa Bay's got really good value here.
And go from Big Al. Let's go over to Millz.
Yeah, man. Looking at the game, I was looking at Gosman in the spot in the Toronto Blue Jays. I was looking at his strikeout prop in this one. I actually think he should be able to go over in that game. The Tampa Bay Rays, speaking about that one, Big Al was on to something. A lot of those players actually hit Gibson good. Gibson's actually doing decent. I think he's like 7-4 right now, but it's like multiple players that got RBIs off of him. A couple of players in that Rays lineup have multiple home runs off of him too as well. So 2 teams I really wouldn't trust to get to the window with. If I would take a shot on the Rays. But yeah, I actually think, in that other Baltimore game, I'm going to be looking at Gosman to go over his strikeout prop.
There you go from Millz Young here with those 2 games. We'll get over to my what I like in these games. So we'll take a look here at, let's see, we're going to start here with the Orioles and the Blue Jays. I'm going to look at the Orioles side in this one. Toronto's not been a very good underdog this year. They've really struggled in that spot. Although some markets are showing that they're favored here for Toronto. So that's kind of flipped. So we'll pass on that one there with that stat. But the Blue Jays, again, at home, minus 51 run differential at home. But they sit with a bullpen ERA well over 5. Gosman has not been a good home pitcher this year. Numbers have been poor. So we'll look at Baltimore there in that spot. Rays and Cardinals look for St. Louis here. Rays have struggled against the right-handed starters this year, and their pitching staff has given up 257 hitting on the road. Cardinals 4 of 5 at home winners. We'll look at the Cardinals minus 121. All right, we'll continue here on the drive-through as we get ready for the next game. Last game here from baseball. Let's go to that Tigers and Mariners. Boy, these Tigers they've been playing well on road of late. We'll start with Big L.
Well, Brian Wu's going to get the start for Seattle this year, and he's been brilliant at home. I mean, you're not going to find anyone with better home numbers than Wu has. 0.95 ERA with a 0.63 WHIP. I'm not going to fade those numbers, but I'm not going to go with the run line. I'm just going to lay the 225 and take Seattle on the money line.
Okay, we've gone over to Millz.
Yeah, Brian Wu's put up some good numbers, man. I actually like these numbers that I'm going to give out. I like the under on his strikeout prop. His last 5 games, he only went over 5.5 strikeouts in one of those games. I don't think this is going to be one of those games that he's going to have that prop going in this one, too. Going off the Detroit Tigers, man, I think it's kind of like the Houston ran out the team. You were supposed to trade Baez, like he's still over there on the team for what? We don't know why. You still got Screwball. You traded Flaherty. Everybody trades Flaherty. So to me, I kind of look at Detroit Tigers like Anaheim Angels or the Los Angeles Angels.
Anaheim Angels.
Should have got the for Ohtani. Yeah, should have. Yeah, you remember those days. But they should have got something for Ohtani. They should have got something for Mike Trout. They didn't. And, I think it's going to be the same thing we're going to say about the Detroit Tigers, to where they should have just traded Tariq Skubal, and they should have just moved Baez and got something back in return.
All right, there you go from Millz. And this one, I'm going to go under in this one. I know Maeda's had his issues at the mound, but again, this Seattle team just haven't struggled hitting the baseball. 204 at home. But their pitching staff has been fairly good at home with a pitching staff ERA of 2.06 at home. I'm sorry, they're allowing 206 batting at home. This Seattle pitching staff been excellent. In Detroit, over their past 10, just 225. Mariners bullpen good. Of course, the Mariners have trended to the under all season long, so we'll go under there with this Detroit and the Seattle Mariners here tonight. Late night baseball tonight. All right, we'll continue here on the drive-through. All right, we're going to take a look at these 2 preseason games. If you have a pick on both or one, Big Out, Panthers and Patriots, Lions and Giants.
Yeah. Oh, going back to the whole Anaheim, Los Angeles thing. I live in Los Angeles. That drives me crazy that they call themselves the Los Angeles Angels. They are not in Los Angeles at all. Like it's, for people who don't understand, like Anaheim's a world away from Los Angeles.
Oh yes.
The stupidest thing.
Yeah. Stupidest thing. Yeah.
I mean, it's just
everything that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all from SoCal here. Mills is from. I am Big Al living, and we should say, right?
Yeah,
The SoCal crew today.
Might as well call themselves the San Diego, Angels. Just dumb.
Wait, well, remember though when they went with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim? They just added on too much stuff. We're just like, bro.
Just call yourself the Anaheim Angels and be done with it. Like,
I like California Angels back in the day.
Fine, right? California, or if you want to go SoCal Angels, I mean, you could do anything, but like, it doesn't. It's not Los Angeles. Anyway, these two games. There's only really one game that interests me. It's the Patriots-Panthers. I don't like laying big numbers in the first preseason game of the year. And when you get a team that's favored by more than 4 points, they've covered just 38% in game one since 1983. You've got the Patriots here favored by more than a touchdown, 6.5 points. That's ridiculous. I'll take the Panthers. And then as far as the other game, I wouldn't play that with your money, Tony.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much, Big Al. Very well appreciated. All right, let's go over to Mills.
Man, so go ahead and give me that money over here because I'm playing it, man. And I like the over in that spot, man. Certain trends I think is going to keep going on with the wins. And that was one thing about the Detroit Lions. They was on the over spot all last year. I get it. Some of the players ain't going to be there. But you're going to have some of those players that's still going to want to show them that they can put up numbers. Think they got Hooker behind them, at quarterback. They took a flyer on him, drafting him from Tennessee when he was hurt. The backup besides Jared Goff. And the Giants, they were already throwing punches in between practices with these guys. I think they always have a backup quarterback that wants to go out there and show them that he can put up points too. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're the backup quarterback playing on the New York Giants, you're probably better than the starter because the starter is Daniel Jones. So with that being said, give me the points. Give me the over in this one.
All right, that's from Millz Young. Yeah, in this one, I would look at the Lions and Giants game. I would definitely look to take the points there with the Lions. They're trying to this is the team with receiver depth. And when you look here at the quarterback rotation here for Detroit, let's take a look. We've got Sudfeld, who definitely has some experience in the NFL, Hendon Hooker as well. They'll be competing for that backup spot. There's some competition there. Again, good depth there at receiver position. Of course, Daniel Jones unlikely to play. He's come off knee surgery. So we got Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, the backups in this. Into the spread in preseason openers, 2 and 3 to the spread in preseason as home favorites. So I'll look at taking the points here with the Lions, and I'll look in this some Panthers and Patriots. These are 2 of the worst preseason offenses from last season. I don't know if this will apply this year, but New England rookie head coach Mayo comes from the defensive side of the football. So I look for a better defensive effort here from New England. I'll look for the under there in Carolina and New England. In this spot. Matter of fact, these teams play a lot against each other. Remember in the Ron Rivera days, these teams that lock up just about every year. They're 7-0 to the under in their past 7 preseason meetings. All right, continue here on the drive through. Big Al, what's your Liberty know what you have for sale over at Pick Dodge? Maybe we still have baseball on the board, preseason football as well.
Yeah, I've got Canadian football, a lot of Canadian football. I've got a play for tonight. I've got a play for, what day is it? Sunday, and then also one for tomorrow. And I should have actually 3 more CFL plays. I'm targeting about 6 play sides and totals this weekend. CFL, I'm 11-2. My last 13 in the CFL, having a great season overall in Canadian football. And then I've got 1 NFL preseason play this week. It goes tomorrow. And last year in the preseason, I was 6-2, and this will be my only play for this week. And it goes tomorrow and Friday. It's up right now at Pick Dogs.
There you go, guys. Got with Big Al McMordie and promo code PICK at checkout will save you 15% off. And of course, long-term pass your best value. Of course, those big bettors, we're hitting football season, preseason football, about a month away from the start of regular season. You do have that all access for the big bettors out there.
Yeah, Tony. The all access is for people who can get down 1 to 10,000 a game. If you do qualify and you're interested, just text the words Big Al to 702-769-0404. I've won 11 out of the last 12 NFL seasons. I've been in business now 32 years. I've won 24 out of 32 football seasons, also 24 out of 32 basketball seasons. I've been the number 1 ranked college and pro basketball handicapper combined by Sports Watch Monitor each of the last 4 years, which is insane when you really think about it. So it's been a really good run in basketball the last 4 years. So if folks want to join, just text Big Al to 702-769-0404.
There you go, guys. Football season on the way. Get on board Big Al with his Big All Access. It's in your budget. All right, Big Al. You can stay tuned to the UFC segment, where you can check out. We'll catch up with you on the. We'll be on the weekend show.
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday. I'll definitely be on the weekend show.
They got a Big Al McMordie here on the drive-thru. All right, guys. I got a best bet on the board tonight here from Major League Baseball. Also have a premium play up there for the long-term subscribers. So get on board with me over at Pick Dog Stream. Get those long-term passes. Those are your best values there. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Time for our rundown UFC style with a Millz. We don't have the graphics set up yet for the for this morning show format, but we'll work on them when I get back into LA. So we'll go with this rundown main card. It's UFC Fight Night, Apex, Las Vegas, August 10th here. You can get it ESPN. We'll start here. Heavyweight bout between Marcin Tybura and Sergey Spivak. Millz.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a main event right here. Both these kind of this fighting style that's similar. They both like to get the wrestling. They both like to get the grappling down. And if they are able to get the wrestling and get the takedowns, both these guys have the path to victory. But in here, Sergey Spivak has more paths to victory. He's a submission artist, and Marcin Tybura seems to get up after he's in the ring for about 7 minutes to 10. I like Sergey Spivak in here. I played him at a -130. When he's coming in, he's all the way up to a -160. I think he should be able to get it done and win inside the distance as well.
Continue here on the featherweight division here. Damon Jackson and Chepe Marisco. We see Marisco 230 in this one.
All right, so this is one right here. So where when you got people that's a live underdog like Damian Jackson, it's hard to go against them because the books and the odds makers, they usually never get it right. I mean, I was cashing with them on a 3-fight win streak about a year and a half ago. Then he ran into some bumps. You know, when he's the favorite, it seems like he doesn't show up. And here, guess what? He's the underdog. And I think he's going to surprise some people and show up in here, man. This is the thing. I like taking him plus 3.5 points. You can get that on DraftKings. That's to where he just has to win one round. If he wins one round, which he's really capable of doing, he has that wrestling type of fighting style to where he'll hold somebody down to the ground for the whole fight. He's done it before and won it that way. His chin is questionable. So if he does get damage taken to him early on in the fight, he will look for a way out. But I just think that the line is off, and I'll be looking at Damian Jackson points on DraftKings.
There you go. Continue here. We go to the welterweight division main event card here. Main card: Danny Barlow, U.S. against Nikolai Retinov. We see that these two fighters going head to head.
Yeah, so this fight just got put together. It was on a short notice. Danny Barlow was supposed to be taking on Urso Medic. Urso Medic had to pull out. Got a new guy, though. And Danny Barlow opened up a -260. He's all the way up to a -380. If you got him at that -260 price tag, okay, that was warranted. -380, can't get to the window, can't parlay him, can't tell you to just – he's going to win the same way that he did before. He's an undefeated fighter. His nickname is Left Hand to God. And that left hand, it sends people to God. But guess what? If he ain't touching with that left hand, that's kind of all he got. You know what I mean? So I think he wins inside the distance. That would be the best bet to give out because when he touches you with that left hand, lights out.
All right, there you go. From Millz, continue here on the main card. Bantamweight bout between Chris Gutierrez and Quan Lee. We got Lee favored here, 245.
Okay, guys. Gutierrez favorite, like -600, I want to say, but this fight just got thrown together literally within 2 days. Gutierrez was supposed to be fighting another fighter named Jabrit Basharat, where Jabrit Basharat was a -230 favorite. Now you got Chris Gutierrez, like a -500 favorite there on the books. Quan Lee was supposed to be fighting on the Dana White Contender Series. That's an up-and-coming series to where you fight one night. Hey, if Dana White likes you, you get the contract, you get signed. He was supposed to be fighting in 3 weeks. They pulled him off of there and said, hey, here you go. You want the contract, fight Chris Gutierrez. The line is off. I've seen Kang Lee fight a lot of times in LFA. He's a Vietnam fighter, and he has power out there. If the line was maybe 260 for Chris Gutierrez, I could tell you that that's a great solid parlay piece. But I'm going to shot And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the finish. But it's a big dog price tag, and I just got to stick with the guy that I've been seeing win on the local regional scene, and the guy that I think has way more paths to finish him inside. And the value is really what draws me into. Like I said, if he was a minus 260, be a different story. But he's like a minus 600, I think, on a lot of the books out there.
All right, continue here on the main card. Women's bantamweight bout, Yana Santos and Chelsea Chandler. We see Santos favored $1.42.
Oh man, this one's a hard one to pick 'em, man, because you got Yana Santos, who's on a 3-fight losing streak in the UFC. And she's fighting a girl who only got 2 fights in the UFC, and she's 1-1. You want to know what rhymes with 1-1? Chelsea Chandler, she actually run. And she ran in her last fight. She was fighting Norma Dumont. She turned her back and ran on the cage. There's a meme out there. With that being said, there's no way I can bet somebody like that. If you turn your back in the cage and run from somebody, there's no way I'm getting to the window with you. I'm playing Yana Santos at that minus 140 price tag. She has the fight IQ. She has the fight resume. Everybody that she's lost to pretty much done fought for a belt or, was in the top 3 in the division. Chelsea Chandler, I think she's like 6-2. Yana Santos lost more fights than this girl probably has. Give me Yana Santos. I think the favorite should win in a close fight. I like fight to go the distance as the best bet, but that's going to be juiced out the gills. I'm going with the favorite in this spot.
Favorite in that spot. Continue here still on the main card. Bantamweight bout, Toshimo Kazama against Charalampos Gregorio. We see in this one, Gregorio favored 218.
Yeah, Gregorio, he showed up last time out and dropped the ball in his UFC debut. Now he's a 2-1 favorite. You're asking why? Because the guy that he's fighting, he ain't that good either. He's a judo fighter. He came from the road to the UFC. That's like those Oriental, Asian. That's like those Asian scenes that's trying to get fighters to come from Japan and stuff like that to make it to the UFC because they got a market for him. But guess what? I don't think he's getting the win in this one. I just can't get to the window with that minus 210 price tag straight. I do think he is a liable parlay piece, though.
All right, we move into the prelims. Bantamweight bout the women, Cara Rosa and Pani Kanzad. We see in this one, Rosa favored 205.
Man, I love this one, man. I bet it straight, man. Cara Rosa minus 190, man. When it comes down to it, she averages about 1.5 takedowns per fight. Her volume and striking is great. She averages about 4.7 strikes per round, and she has more paths to victory. She switched gyms. She's not training with the same people that she was training with. Her last fight out against Arena Aldana, she had one of the best first rounds out there. Her opponent, she's just average, okay? And she's not even C+ average. She's just like average, So, and she doesn't do nothing good, okay? On top of it, yeah, I'm all on Cara Rosa, man. I'm all on Cara Rosa, man.
All right, continue. The big fellas, the heavyweights, go at it in the prelims. Jonata Diniz and Carl Williams. We see Williams favored 205. All
right, man. So, they got a saying out there. It's death, taxes, and Carl Williams win by decision. And that's usually the way that it goes. I like the over 1.5 in here. You can get that, I think, at like a minus 160. Carl Williams is a guy that's just going out there. I know you're probably going to hear it a lot, but he's going out there for the takedowns and he's going out there to wrestle and grapple. And if you guys hear me, that's 65% of the people I like to bet because I know exactly what they're going for and I know what their game plan is. And I know when stuff hits the fan, I know what they're going to do. And other people, when they get punched in their face, Big Al, they don't know how to take that. So they usually just hit the ground. These wrestlers, they get punched in the face. They go for a single leg. They go for a double leg. They know their life's on the line, and they grabbing something out there. And then they holding you down to where they get their, merit back. So that's why I bet a lot of wrestlers and grapplers. Same thing could be said in this one, man. I'm taking Carl Williams to win by decision in this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is the one time he gets that finish inside the distance, maybe late round 3. It's going to be a big plus money price tag because he always wins by decision. But his opponent struggles with takedowns. I mean, he's a like kickboxer, taekwondo type of fighter. And he got taken down multiple times since last fight out against Austin Lane. I know you guys are like, Austin Lane. He was the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive end who didn't even make it in his second year. You couldn't even make the Jacksonville Jaguars in like 2010. So, yeah. With that being said, man, I'm all over Carl Williams in this spot. That was my other leg that I do got parlayed.
All right, continue here. We move to the featherweight division from the men's. In the prelims, Yusuf Zal and Jarno Urins, and we see this one big favorite for Zalal from Morocco, 425.
Yeah, 425, a little bit too high for my liking, man. I just can't parlay anything like that unless you have one other solid leg and you're just like laying the chalk to talk and you're confident in it. But he was at that minus 350, and I did parlay him at that price tag with Carl Williams. But, it's just one of those things. I think he has multiple paths to win. And if you're a minus 3-1 favorite, 4-1 favorite, you should be able to finish your opponent, win by decision, and, some other ways. And in this one, the way that he has those wrestling takedowns and can get him down and submit him, he might be able to submit him inside the distance. If not, he's definitely going to be able to win on the scorecards. He puts up a lot of value out there. He's good on the feet. He has the cardio for days. And Gennaro Arens, he got his first win out in the UFC. His last time out, just point blank period, he's just not that good. Yusuf Zalal, he's as advertised, man. And that price tag, I get it. He's a big warranted favorite now. He wasn't like that earlier on, but I do think he should be able to win in this one.
I will continue on. We move to the division where you have to eat a lot of salad. We go to the strawweight women's here. Stephanie Lusano and Talita Alansar in this one head-to-head.
Yeah, man. So this is the rematch. Both these girls fought on the Dana White Contender Series, okay? And none of them got the contract to get in, after that fight, because the fight was a draw. Alantar, she actually was winning the whole fight. And then Stephanie came back in the last round and 10-8'd her and made the fight a draw. When it comes down to it, though, Alantar was able to get into the UFC and get a win. And we still haven't seen Stephanie since that fight. The minus 160 price tag that she's at right now, I don't like it. I don't love it. But there's nothing on this fight card that just has me going to the window with. I usually bet stuff at that minus 130, minus 145, minus 160. Okay. But this was kind of hitting that category to where I think she's the younger fighter. She has more paths to victory. I think she wins by decision. I'm going to make my way to the window with her in this spot. And, hopefully I could get out that like minus 145. I think Stephanie wins.
There you go from Millz. We got you through the card. No one does it better. From the main event all the way to the strawweight prelim. We got it covered for you here on the Thursday show with Millz with his UFC rundown. Millz, everybody know what you got going over. Of course, you're a content provider over at Pick Dog's YouTube channel with your prop shop and, of course, those UFC rundowns and the MMA because you delve into other leagues as well.
Yeah, man. So the prop shop was hot yesterday. I mean, perfect day, 5-0. We gave out Carl Swerberg just to get a hit and a home run. We gave out Michael King. The list goes on. So you got the prop shop. That's what we do over here daily, man. When I'm going over the best player props, giving you guys my best strikeout props for them, and then I'm referencing them with the Sports Chat Place bet to us and seeing if they're hitting at a 60% clip, 80% clip, or 100% clip. That's dropping daily out there. Besides that, we got the UFC Bet With Me series. That's coming out every single Wednesday. We went over all the card for you guys just last night. I gave you guys a parlay to get played too in there. And then besides that, we got the UFC tiers videos. That's where we're ranking all the best UFC fighters in every single division. And hey, if you guys want more information and stuff, just check out my interviews on YouTube, man. Interviewing a lot of the up-and-coming fighters that's fighting on the Dana White Contender Series. Just type it in the YouTube MMA Locker Room.
There you go, guys. That's from Millz. All right, we're going to conclude it here. Big Al, any last words before we go?
Oh, not really. No, I'm just looking. I was hoping for the over-under in the Canadian football game, the Ottawa-Saskatchewan game. I was hoping the over-under line might move a little bit to generate a play, but it's stuck in mud, so got nothing more.
All right, we got it going for Millz, Big Al. I'm Tony T, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening, and we'll catch